to another edition of Marketing Unleashed here at Tailwind. It's been a while, but oh my gosh, we have been like saving this up because this is going to be an amazing show because one, I have no idea about TikTok, and I'm super excited how to get that to work together with Pinterest. With Kristen Larson is here with us. She is amazing. We've been chatting. We almost forgot to hit the go live button because we were just chatting away. But we would love it if you guys would share the love across the interwebs. Let other people know what's going on today. If you have any questions, make sure to ask them down below. And if you know somebody who's like, they're struggling with TikTok or they're not making any money or they feel like they're not getting enough views, feel free to mention them down below. Call them into the conversation. Even if they can't be here live, we're more than happy to answer questions after the show today. So we really appreciate you. There is our friend Brian from the UK. He's saying good evening all. So thank you for staying up and watching. Yes, thank you for watching this. So this is going to be exciting. Brian, are you on TikTok? Have you tried it? We want to know. Inquiring minds want to know. So Susan, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. I'm really excited to talk with everyone, and I am so thrilled that we have Kristen with us. She's one of my favorite Pinterest people in the entire world, and she's not only a Pinterest person, she has multiple businesses. She's like a serial entrepreneur, serial meaning more than one, not like she's making her living in the cereal industry that I know of. Are you? Anyway, so I'm really glad that, that Kristen is here. Her course on how to be a Pinterest VA is remarkable and amazing. And when we learned that she has been using TikTok as well, it seemed like a great opportunity to talk about multitasking with that social content.
Awesome. So I wanted Brian answered our question that we asked. He goes, yes, I post my Pinterest videos there just because maybe. So yeah, that's what it feels like. Kind of. That's what we were talking about with the show. You're like, what do we do? There's so many things that we have to do. But one of the things that you should do is make sure that you guys go check out this this Black Friday, Cyber Monday toolkit that Tailwind has put together. Go check it out at bit.ly, Tailwind Kit. That's bit.ly/Tailwind Kit. Check that out because it is amazing. And that's coming up. I mean, I know it's scary. Yeah. It's not even Halloween yet, but yeah, it's coming. So this will help you get ready.
My husband and I were talking over dinner the other night. I was like, can you hear it? He's like, what? I'm like, that sound of footsteps like the orcs are approaching. I'm like, right. Cyber Monday sale. We need to be getting ready on this
Start
front.
Saving, folks. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, it's good. I think it's going to be an interesting year. I think we're going to see a lot of bumps across all the platforms. But do you want to give a little, I know you had a little bio of Kristen. You kind of did a little bit, but was there any more that you wanted to talk about, Kristen? I mean, how you found out about her, and you said she was your favorite person. So tell us more.
I should likely unmute myself before I do that. Yeah. But yeah, Kristen and I first worked together on a project because she has used Tailwind for a while and is one of our affiliates and has a great training course for Pinterest VAs. And I was so impressed with how wonderful she was to work with. And we've sort of stayed in touch a little bit just in the context of her as a Tailwind super user. And so, Kristen, I'd love it if you would kind of fill us in on all of the businesses that you're working on now.
Yeah, well, thanks so much for having me. I'm so glad to be here with y'all. Yes, I have been using Tailwind forever, which is crazy. I can remember when you guys launched your business, which is forever ago. But I got my start back in personal finance space over at Believe in a Budget. And back in the day, back in, 2015, I started talking about all these side hustles I was doing so I could quit my day job. And one of my side hustles turned into working on Pinterest accounts for fellow bloggers. So then that's how Pinterest VA was born. I got to work with tons of clients. I was able to use Tailwind with all my clients, which was amazing. And then before I knew it, we kind of created this program over at Pinterest VA. I get to help lots of other people start their dream businesses. And then in my spare time, we launched a new brand last year called Diva Dog Bakery. And that's where I help people who are at home. They start learning how to make dog treats, and then they go sell them on places like Etsy or at farmers markets or craft fairs. And it's been really fun. Every time I get, kind of burnt out with one brand, I just switch to another. So it's worked out really well in the past year.
That's really cool. Now I've got to get
So
my daughter
great.
to do this because she was wanting to do her own dog bakery. She has like a dream of doing a dog bakery. So I am definitely going to point her to that site. That is very, very cool. So as we're looking, and we're going to talk about TikTok and Pinterest together today, but I wanted to ask, like, as we kind of ebb and flow with what's open, what's not, what's working, what's not. In the next couple months, do you have like any big marketing pushes that you have on your radar to kind of capitalize on some of this stuff, or what do you see coming down the pike? Kind of in the big industry wide viewpoint.
Yeah, I think for us, like so many other people, excuse me, everybody was offline this summer. So we definitely saw a slight decrease in sales, but it feels like based on like responses to our newsletters and more people opting in and people making purchases, I think people are ready to buy. I think they're ready to buy anything. So I feel like we kind of held out the summer, went on our vacations, did that thing. And now that we're back home, we're really starting to spend more time on the computer. And I think with how things have kind of maybe slowed down in terms of things taking a little longer to like order or purchase, I feel like we're all kind of starting really early this year. I know I already have a list of names of people I want to get Christmas presents for, so I'm already looking. So with that, for me personally, yes. And then for our business as well, we're already thinking, okay, what are we going to do leading up to Black Friday, Cyber Monday? Are we going to have anything even after that at the end of the year to help people get ready for January? So we're definitely brainstorming and working on ideas to get ready for the next couple months.
So, by the way, if you are joining late, do not forget, she mentioned Black Friday and Cyber Monday. Well, we have a handy-dandy guide here at Tailwind. You can go to bit.ly/Tailwind Kit and check that out because it is chock full of great information because, yeah, I think I see that the tsunami is coming. So, yeah. I mean, get ready, and this guide will help you guys do that. So make sure you guys check that out. So, Susan, I am just, my daughter and I, we share funny TikTok videos back and forth, and she sends me the links and I watch them. And that's probably about my extent. She always sends me funny cat and animal videos, and I think they're funny because I'm a dad and I have a low sense of humor. But I know you had some questions like business-wise on TikTok, and I am not, a TikTok power user by any means. So I'll let you take away the TikTok section.
Yeah, so I'm just really curious about how you started to use TikTok, Kristen, and how you're using it now. I'm like Jeff, I'm not a TikTok power user. One of the engineers on our team did some stuff on TikTok that got a ton of views, and so we were all following along with that success story. And I have some friends who are using it for their businesses. But how did you how did you first identify TikTok as a good opportunity? And then what were some of the steps that you've taken to incorporate TikTok into your marketing mix?
Yeah, so I think like a lot of us, I was just using it to watch videos and laugh. Like I feel like we went through this period where we were home and there was nothing new on Netflix. We couldn't find anything, and TikTok became our new form of like evening entertainment. Like being able to laugh video after video was fantastic. So I did that for months, and I have to give a shout out to my friend Holly. She's over at the Work at Home Woman, but she and I had been messaging each other for months saying, should we get on TikTok as a user? Like, should we be creating videos? And I mean, we could not, I mean, it took us months where we had all these fears of, is it too late to join because there's already so many people on there making videos? Are we too old? Do we have to dance? Can we actually do this? Like, we were terrified of dancing.
Right.
And look, I can say,
well, what is the answer? Okay, you don't have to dance.
You don't have to dance. Like we would see these people coming up with these routines, and I was like, I am not getting on there and doing that. Like, I can't do it. So I switched gears and I really went down like an educational rabbit hole on TikTok and discovered all of these small businesses that I had never heard of, and getting to see who they are, learn who the business owners are, what they're creating, what they're making, even how they're shipping things. Just learning their stories, I loved it. I was really into it. And I was like, you know what? I was like, we can do this. And so we made this deal. We both started in June, and we said, let's make just 2 videos. All we have to do is try to make 2 videos and see what happens. And then I went ahead and made my first video. It's 15 seconds long. And I think that first video had, 160,000 views. And I was like, okay,
Wow.
I'm sold. Like if it's like this and I can start getting traffic, awareness, like I am all in on investing in TikTok.
So I have a question.
Oh, go ahead, Jeff.
So this is the thing. So I know that, like, we've all probably known somebody, and it seems like people go viral more on TikTok than ever before. Like my son's girlfriend has gone viral on TikTok, but they're not making any money. So that's the question. How does this work into your marketing journey? You mentioned kind of a little bit about brand awareness, but and how, are you using it to create leads? How does that work? I mean, how do people? Is there a click that they go straight to your site? I mean, break it down for somebody. We'll just pretend that I don't know anything about TikTok, and just try to educate me a little bit, just for pretend.
Okay. So I can definitely tell you what not to do because I made all the mistakes in the beginning. At first, I was like, okay, I'm a business. I want to have a business TikTok account because with a business TikTok account, you get a URL like on your profile right away. And I was like, well, that's what I want to do. I want people to come to my site right away. And I realized that's not the solution. If you have a business TikTok account, you don't get access to any of the fun music or any of that viral music, the trends you hear, anything. So immediately I was like, okay, well, if I switch to a creator account, I don't get a URL. Like you have to have 1,000 followers before you even get access to people getting to wherever you want to send them. Good thing is, as a creator on TikTok, you can get followers pretty quickly. So do not stress it. Do not worry about the URL in the very beginning. Just put out a couple of videos, see how it goes. The URL will come once you get those followers. So the other thing is that as you start making these videos, people can start asking questions. And one of the questions I got was, well, how do I start? And from there, I was able, well, here's what you do. And I made them a video. I shared a screen of, where I wanted to send them on my website. And from there, we started getting so much traffic. Those traffic, I mean, when we would do a post like that, like a video, we would see a bump of like 200 to 300 new email subscribers in like a day. Wow. So we started getting tons of new leads in. Now, did they purchase right away? I don't know, but they're on my email list and I can talk to them for a while and, in case they unsubscribe, whatever, but I can keep educating them now even more if they're on my email list, which is amazing. So for me, I'm finding value in getting them back to my website, learning what they can. If they want to sign up, perfect. And then we just go from there.
So
that's so cool.
Just a real quick follow-up question, because I just want to make sure it's clear for people. Now, was this for your dog treat business, or is this for Pinterest VA?
Pinterest VA. Okay. So I know it's like, Jeff, I don't know how I can create 2 TikTok accounts. Like, I don't know if I can have 2 personalities with right. Diva Dog here, PVA here. I'm like, let's just focus on Pinterest VA. So that's the direction we've just been doing since like end of June. We've been growing that account.
So the other question I wanted to ask was like, okay, so you don't get a URL until you have 1,000 people, correct? So can you switch from a creator account to a business one later? Kind of like, so it's seamless?
Yes. So I started off as a business account, and then as my views grew, I realized, I was like, where's all the fun music? Why can't I find anything? I realized I made the mistake. I need a creator account. And with the creator account, once you have, let's say, 10,000 followers and 100,000 views, that's where you hear people talking about like the TikTok creator fund. And that's where you can make money from, like, TikTok pays you. So that's a goal for like some people. But if you're going to start a brand new TikTok account, do the creator one. I think you're going to have a lot more success than a business one.
So when you make the videos for TikTok, how do they differ from other video content that you've done?
Okay, so I love it. My favorite thing about TikTok is you can just show up how you are. There's no need to like be perfect. Sometimes I stress about Instagram and my doing a reel or doing my grid. Everything's so perfect. And for us, like, that's a real struggle. But on TikTok, I feel like I can just hold up my phone, do a 15-second video exactly how I am, upload it, and you get to just be who you are. So for me, that's been a great thing to do. When I think about, like, we've made some YouTube videos that requires like photo editing, sending things off to like a video editor, graphics. That's a little more complicated. I feel like with TikTok, I can just get it all done myself pretty quickly.
That's interesting, because I'm always scared because my kids mock me enough as it is. So, I'm like, if I get on TikTok, I'm going to have every kid in the world making fun of me. So it's really interesting that you said you just went with it and just did it and didn't worry about it. I want to go to our comments because I think there's some really good ones here. Brian says, I try to avoid watching videos on TikTok because you can lose so much time. I try to log in, post, and get off before I get sucked in. That's a great tip there, Brian. Yeah, it is probably and that algorithm is so good for getting you content that you want to watch. It is amazing. And they are actually selling that algorithm out to third parties now. Dustin says, from experience, TikTok is a great platform to tell your brand story through creative and fun videos. It's definitely the next biggest organic inbound strategy to have. Thanks, Dustin, for that. Marge asked this question, and it'd be hard to drop your first video down in there, but Kristen, can you tell people your TikTok handle to find you, like if they want to go back and watch some of those?
Yeah, it's just my name, Kristen Larson _. And
Okay.
that's it. You can just scroll down. I don't have that many videos, and it's the very first one. And I will say, when you go to make your first video, especially like if you're an influencer or brand or business, whatever you are, definitely do some research before you make your first video. I know for me, I wanted to see like who else is in my space. I'm not trying to look at anyone like competition, but I'm just trying to see like what's everyone else talking about. I couldn't find anyone talking about really what I was talking about. And I was like, well, that's great. I'm going to have probably like an advantage. But I also wanted my first video to be really good. So I wrote out like every keyword I wanted to hit in 15 seconds so I could really grab people's attention. So definitely, if you're making that first video and you've got 15 seconds, you need to plan out what you want to say to make the biggest impact.
That's a great power tip right there. This is a great question by Margie. Margie says, does TikTok have much of a senior audience?
So my biggest fear on TikTok was I was going to be the oldest person on there. I was like, is this for teenagers and early people in their 20s? I feel like every time a new platform comes out, the youngest, like the teenagers hear about it first, and then it trickles down into like then the 20s and the 30s and the 40s and the 50s and so on, right? So I was really worried about that, but I have found it is people of all ages. Like, it does not matter. Nobody cares. I feels like it's a really judgment-free zone. People are just really interested in your story and what you have to say. So I think it's great for any age.
Okay, you're starting to convince some people in the audience, I think, that they're going to be on TikTok. So, Susan, you got to go first. I want to see you on TikTok.
Yeah, I've just made a TikTok while we've been talking.
Oh,
when I was off camera. No, so do you see repurposing as something that can happen with the content that you already have, or do you have to start fresh always with TikTok? Like, is there a way to go back and forth between Instagram content and TikTok content, or how does that work with TikTok?
So, okay, I did a couple things. First, I went on Pinterest and I would go through either my Tailwind analytics or my Pinterest analytics, and I would look for my best pins. And I would take a title of one of my pins, and then I would take the description, which was like usually, 1 to 2 sentences. And that's how I've made some of my 15-second videos. So I wrote down my first video. I need to find, I think my pin said something like, get paid to play on Pinterest. That was kind of like our little, slogan we were going with.
Mm-hmm.
And so instead of saying, get paid to play on Pinterest as my opening, I rephrased it as a question. And I'm trying to do a lot of questions as like my opening for TikTok videos. So I'll say like, did you know you can get paid to play on Pinterest? And so that kind of grabs their attention. And then after that, I'll take my pin description and just say it out loud. And that's my 15-second video. So it made things really easy in the beginning because I already knew on Pinterest what pins were doing really well. So then I could just kind of repurpose them into my TikTok content as like a video. So that's worked really well.
That's great.
More like repurposing the ideas and just putting them in a different format.
Yes. So then from there, I would make my video and then I would download my TikTok video and then I put it into Pinterest as an idea pin. And it took me a while to figure out, but there is a free app you can use to download your TikTok video without like the TikTok logo everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's called, oh my gosh, I have it somewhere, like Snap tick.app.
Yeah.
I'll find it and I'll add it to the comments after, but it's a free service. You can download it and then you can go ahead and add it to, Pinterest. You can add it to, like, if you have a 3-minute video, you make it a reel. You can put it into a short YouTube video if you wanted. There's tons of ways you can repurpose it.
So back to that question about, and you mentioned like when you first did it, you had the keywords where you wrote and you tried to hit all of those in 15 seconds. And then you just mentioned like 3-minute, which I know TikTok just lengthened the amount of time that you have. Do you have a sweet spot that you have seen or you see for the length of a TikTok video? Like, should we, when we first get started, just try to do 15 seconds or should we go for the full 3 minutes?
So I didn't know this. I thought everybody got the 15, the 60, and the 15 seconds, 60 seconds, and a 3-minute. You don't get that right away. I think everybody starts off with 15 seconds. I'm not sure if you get 60 seconds as well, but because I had so many views right away, I received a message from TikTok saying you now have access to like a 3-minute TikTok.
Wow.
So I was like, well, that's really great. But I have found if I can keep a lot of things to 15 seconds, or even 30, that's way better. Like I can get more followers that way. And then I'll do it occasionally, a couple long ones. But for the most part, people are scrolling. They want information really fast. So I try to keep like them really short. So I might just share one tip, even though I have a lot to say. You guys got to make a lot of videos.
Gotcha. The other thing I wanted to know is what kind of statistics do you get on TikTok? Because and I guess now that you have the URL, it's in your bio. I'm assuming that's where the URL is. Do you in your TikToks, do you have a call to action where you say, click on the link, like Instagram, to click on the link to my bio? And how do you know if a video is working or converting? Because, like I said before, I've seen people who say they go viral and they have gone viral, but it doesn't move the needle any. So how can you use stats to kind of like figure out what works and how, to drive a CTA or whatever? I'm fascinated.
Yeah. So there is something called Creator Tools, and it does give you all your analytics. So you can see your engagement on how many people have seen your video views, your profile, likes, comments, shares, all that kind of information. And it goes back, like right now I'm looking for like the past 2 weeks. It tells you if your audience is mostly male or female, what countries that they're in, what time of the day your videos are performing the best. So they are giving you a lot of information, which is fantastic. For us, we can tell pretty quickly if we see my videos start to do well. We'll log into our email provider and see how many new opt-ins we've gotten because they go together. Like we know that's where all of our new traffic's coming from, is from a TikTok video. And then we also will get like randomly a bunch of emails as well saying, we get emails, but we get a lot of Instagram messages, which is really fascinating to me because TikTok wants you to connect your Instagram account.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll get people over to Instagram. We'll get more followers that way, but we mostly get messages in there. And they're like, how do I start? And I'm like, you just go back to the website. That's what we have. But hey, however they want to communicate with us, that's totally fine. All we really have is our URL in our, like my bio, my profile. And then at the end of a video, sometimes we'll just say, like and follow for more videos or like and follow for more info, that kind of thing. So it's very soft marketing, if that makes sense.
Yeah, so you're not actually going, hey, go click on my link in my bio. We're just saying, hey, like and follow for more videos like this kind of a thing.
Like probably 90% of the time. So unless I'm doing a specific video that teaches them how to do something on my website, I'm really not talking about it at all. They just follow. If they want to click on it, they click on it. It's very passive. Like it's very simple. It's nice not to have to say, visit me at ... all the time.
Wow.
It feels like the algorithm does so much of the heavy lifting there for you that it's very cool. My friend
Yeah.
who does hand painted furniture, she told me kind of a very similar thing about how she was monetizing her TikTok, and that was she said people would discover her on TikTok and then they would purchase her items from Instagram, and so it seems like that's a at least anecdotally a good channel to explore.
Yeah. So I've read that because I was trying to research how to use TikTok before using TikTok. So I was trying to look at like YouTube videos, anything I could find online. And I think they say start with the hashtag FYP for your page. That'll help try to get you in front of more people. But I believe, based on what I've researched, is you have a video, it starts doing well. A real TikTok employee will see it. And if it gets moved to the for your page, that's when it can really blow up. So I think there is an algorithm, but I do think there are real people looking at some of these videos. And if it's really different and unique, it will stay on the for your page for a long time. So that's really like fascinating to me.
Yeah, that they're curating it that way. That's really cool. So, um, So you haven't really even done this many videos, but you've blown up really fast. Jennifer said when we were talking about the different time spots, our friend Jennifer Laura says, I got the first 2 right away and the 3 minutes length a few days in the last month. So that's very, very cool. So, and one of the things I'm really big on repurposing. So I love that how you were doing with Pinterest. You were taking things down, moving it there, and then seeing what works and move it back to Pinterest. So have you tried any other platforms? Like I know a lot of YouTubers are doing these YouTube shorts. Have you taken any of your like TikTok videos that performed well and repurposed those to shorts? Because I know, or is there any other way that you have found that repurposing works really well?
We are not, to be honest, we are not on all the platforms as much as we probably should be. We have taken some of our videos and put them into Instagram Reels, and those have done really well. Like before, we would get a couple hundred views. I think we put 1 or 2 on there recently, and they got like a few thousand. And so that was really exciting for us because we haven't spent a lot of time on Instagram. And I feel like we're just like skimming the surface of all the possibilities on how to repurpose content. Part of me thinks, oh gosh, I could download all of these and I could put, 1 into a Facebook ad or maybe like a promoted pin ad. So I feel like there's still a lot we can do with the content that we've already created.
Okay. I'm sorry, Susan, I just got to ask this because I was thinking about you. So let's say, Susan is on TikTok and she does these incredible marketing tips, how to market things, how to do Pinterest, fabulously set up campaigns, all that stuff. But then she decides to, I want to share some of my underwater basket weaving that I do, that it's amazing, that everyone should do. Is that bad on TikTok? Should you niche down? Should you be specific?
That's a great question, Jeff.
Should you be specific and like, okay, I'm just going to talk about my Pinterest VA stuff and I'm not going to do my dog stuff because that would confuse my audience. Does that matter on TikTok, or what are you suggesting to people who are wanting to start?
Oh, I think people would love it. So last month, and I don't know if anyone on TikTok, like who uses TikTok, or if you guys have seen this, there was this whole big thing about these girls trying to join sororities. It was called like hashtag Bama Rush. And it was all about watching these girls share their outfits of the day. What sorority are they going to rush to? It took over TikTok. And I saw all these people who were posting saying, I know I usually talk about this, but have you seen what Bama Rush, that's what the hashtag was. Have you seen what Bama Rush is doing? I'm so invested. I'm watching this. And people were like, oh my gosh, I've seen it too. And then it sets up all these comments. So I think you can totally take a break or pivot or whatever you want to do, because people just love it. Like you're current, you know what's going on, or maybe you're just wanting to share something new. Like people like that. Like I don't feel like it's as strict as maybe your Instagram has to be, or maybe your YouTube channel. I feel like you have a lot of flexibility. Like we're in a phase where everything's just very real right now on TikTok, and I really like that.
So that begs the question. So it sounds like it's great for personal branding. Like, hey, Kristen does this, but she also does this, and she's also interested in this and is going to do some commentary on it. So let's say Tailwind, the company, wanted to get on TikTok. Would they come in as their brand, or would they come in as like individual people under the Tailwind umbrella? What would work with that?
Ooh. I would do both. So they have these things on TikTok that are like stitches, and that's where you can be on half the screen and then there's someone else like on the other half of the screen. So you could go in, you could look for all these people that are like businesses using Pinterest, or maybe there's Pinterest managers or anyone giving Pinterest tips. And then you could come in and do a stitch and say, yes, everything they're talking about is working. This is why, Tailwind is so great. We're able to do all the scheduling for you to make your job easier. So there's so much you could do as a brand, but you can also make it personal. So maybe you're going to show what the office looks like if you guys are all together. You're doing like a silly dance video that's really popular. So I think you can be both. I feel like the more people get to know the people at Tailwind, the more they're going to invest then in the product as well. Like it just makes it more fun.
So see what I did there, Susan? You got to do a dance now with the whole team.
Yeah, I'm headed there after this. I'm just going to summarize this in a 15-second video, and then I'm going to come back and drop the TikTok link here, and then we can all discuss. It's really motivating, and I love the idea of it being a more relaxed place than some of the other video outlets that you have. I'm curious about Jennifer in the comments. She's talking about getting the first 2 right away, 3 minutes a few days last month, and has seen some account growth from hopping on trends. So Jennifer, if you have any any tips you want to share in the comments as well, that would be great. I think so Kristen, we've heard you mention that you're using Instagram some, you're not sure you're using as much as you should, you're using TikTok, you're using Pinterest, you're using your website, your email. What else is in the mix for PinVA? What else is in the mix for Doggy Diva? Diva Doggy? Which one is it?
Diva Dog Bakery.
Okay.
Yeah, we are really just investing a lot of our time now on TikTok. So we still go between Pinterest a lot. We're on TikTok. We want to get more on Instagram. I feel like being diverse is being really helpful. I, as a business owner, in the wild, wild west days back in 2015, 2016, I was all in on Pinterest. It made the most sense for our business. We were getting tons of traffic. And we know it's not like that anymore. So I want to keep using Pinterest because it's still doing amazing things for our business. But I also want to explore new audiences that might not be on Pinterest yet. Or maybe they want to get to know me in a different way with more video and audio and that kind of thing. So I think it's just been really helpful to try to pick a few different places that we can shine on versus going all in on everything and not making like results anywhere.
That's really interesting. I think that's great advice. One thing I should probably mention, and I want to mention, is I was using our Tailwind product yesterday, and the create option now, you can create from your website. You can create pins, you can create Instagram posts and Facebook posts all in the same spot. And what made me think about in this context was when you talked about identifying the Pinterest posts that have performed, or the pins that have performed best for you, that might be a way to also build your Instagram content by going back to those URLs, pulling them into Tailwind, and Tailwind will automatically create templated Instagram posts and Facebook posts for you too. So I hadn't been using Create as much because I wasn't working on that part of our marketing with Tailwind, and then picked it up again the other day, and I was just so impressed with how quick it is and how easy it is to get lots of repurposed content immediately from your website. So if you have the analytics, know what people like, that's a great way to kind of repurpose for Instagram too.
I just had a great idea. I don't know if this will work. So, Kristen, I want you to tell me. So, you mentioned going back and looking at your stats at Pinterest, that the pins that did really well. I wonder if you could do the green screen feature on TikTok and be in front of your pin and talk about it, and then use that, especially the ones like you do on Create. Like you could stand in front of your actual pin and talk and have that as the background. Could you do that?
What'd be fun is if you were, because I find recipes as idea pins are a little tricky. People love looking up recipes on Pinterest, and it's hard because with the idea pin, you can't really like click back to the actual recipe. Right. But if you could have it as a green screen, take it on TikTok, and then talk more about the recipe, like tips on how to bake or how to mix the ingredients, that could be really helpful. Because I know for me, like I need more than just a pin to see the recipe, like I need to know all about it because I'm really not good at baking. But if you could talk about it, or what if you have like a product, like a purse, and you show a picture of it from your Pinterest pin, but then on TikTok, you're showing like all the ways you can use it.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's a lot you could do with both.
Yeah. Especially because
You
you'd
could
have
get-
the
Oh, sorry, Jeff.
you'd have the image already. So I think that's really cool because you could kind of use both of your assets that you'd already had. So anyway, what were you gonna say?
You could do that with your product catalog.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. So Jennifer has a great
green screen product catalog.
I know. Because I think about talking heads, like when you're talking about the recipe thing, if somebody, you see the recipe going on behind you and you can come up and say like, by the way, this is, you can have commentary and really make it engaging where you'd have you talking and then the background. And I mean, all sorts of, like I said, repurposing. That's the way to go. And so you don't have to do it more than once. So Jennifer says this, Kristen mentioned how real TikTok is at the moment, and that is an important point. It seems users are sick of the glossy, overproduced look of a lot of other platforms. It's pretty freeing as a content creator as well. So yeah, you had me at not being produced. So that's really good, Jennifer. Yeah. So
what do you think? Oh, I'm sorry, Jeff. Go ahead.
Well, I just want to, so I know there's some people on here who are watching who are like, they may have just used TikTok, and I want to make sure we're not going over some terms that or some like definitions that they may not know of. So we mentioned trends on TikTok, and that's a big deal. And if you're just a casual consumer of TikTok, you may not know what that means. So, Chris, can you tell what trends are on TikTok and how important they are?
Yeah, what I love about the trends, I'm looking at my TikTok now, is, and when I was talking earlier about like dancing trends, one of the things you can do with a trend, like if there's a really popular song, I feel like the songs we're hearing on TikTok, I'm hearing them like in real life and we're getting them from TikTok. Like, I don't know, like, have you guys heard like the Applebee's song? Like I saw it on a commercial. Like that song was all over TikTok this whole summer. And now it's finally getting on TV as a commercial, which is crazy to me. So there's a whole dance that goes with this Applebee's song. And I was like, I'm not doing the dance. But what I did was I took the song, I had it playing in my video, like at a really low volume so I could still talk. And that was a great way to get tons of traffic to that particular video because I was using that trend. So don't feel like you have to dance to it. You can just have it playing, and that's going to be totally fine as well. So that's a great way to hop on a trend right away.
Awesome. And the other term that you mentioned that some people may not know about, you talked about stitch, and that's really popular on TikTok. So can you explain what a stitch is?
Yeah, I'm going to have to take screenshots and I'm going to share all this in the comments. So you can do something where someone makes a video and then you can like record yourself watching them do the video to kind of get like your reaction, or if you want to talk, or if you want to like highlight something. And that's a great thing to do because a lot of times what someone who has like a ton of followers on TikTok will go ahead and do a stitch with someone who doesn't have as many followers. And it's a great way to get that person a ton of new traffic. So it's like a really giving thing to do with your audience to help build up newer TikTokers. So I really like that. It's, again, I don't think it's competitive. I think it's a lot of community-based videos.
Mm-hmm.
Will you do a stitch with me with my video right after this, Kristen? Let's talk about stitch opportunities.
That's right. You gotta jump on those. So the other thing, one of the things that's so cool about TikTok, and I think is why it has a lot of popularity. Not only does it serve up stuff that you want, and it's really fast and it's entertaining, but there's also for creators a lot of tools. I'm thinking like the robotic voice, where it's like a computer generated voice that are on a lot of the funny videos or something, and those get repurposed. So are there some of your like creator tools that you like to use that are kind of like your go-to in your toolbox, Kristen, that you find that are very effective for your brand?
So because I'm focusing on like educational TikTok, I, for the most part, am focusing on just like my voice, like as I am, because I'm still trying to grow it. I'm not trying to be funny where I'm trying to like use someone else's, like a different voice for the most part. Right now, I'm still kind of in the, let me be in front of as many people as possible and try to just use my voice. But with that being said, there again, with these like trends, you can use someone's like instead of it being a song, it's like a recording of like people talking. So you can like mimic what they're saying and use that. It's a very, I can't explain it properly, but I mean, that's what a lot of people are doing. They take like a famous quote, maybe like Kim Kardashian said, and then they use it in a video. It ends up being really funny. So I think depending on what you're going for, like if you're trying to be an influencer, that could be huge for you by doing that kind of thing. But I think if you're still trying to be educational, that you want to really just focus on growing yourself first, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like there's definitely a lot of apps and things you can use, but I haven't really like dove too deep in them just because I'm still trying to grow.
I've seen a lot of marketers do that thing where they have a song going and they're like pointing to different like text on the screen. It seems that like that every marketer I've seen is doing that thing. Is that really effective? I mean,
oh my gosh, yes.
Okay.
And I said I would never do it. So I was like, this is ridiculous. And what is so amazing about it is when I first started making my videos, I did about a dozen that I made as like in batches. So I was able to make a dozen videos. You save them all as drafts in your app, and then you can use them down the road. So I cannot tell you how many videos I made of me shaking my head, going no, pointing. I don't know what I was pointing at. You're just pointing at the air. And then later on, when you're ready to do a video, you take one of your drafts that you've saved and you're like, okay, cool. Now I'm going to add in like my words that are like in the little bubbles. And so you've got all this content saved. They're 15 seconds. And then you just go in, you add the text, you add a song. You're not even talking. And then you just hit publish. And it is so easy. You feel silly. People don't care. They're not laughing at you. Everyone's doing it. And it is super effective. So effective. It's ridiculous.
So that's a challenge for everybody. I want to see you guys do that in the comments. I want to say, yes, I'm going to do this challenge. I'm going to do the TikTok challenge and go and try out TikTok if you haven't been on it before, because Susan's going to do it. I can tell.
Oh, yeah, I'm 100% in. So if I haven't done it by the next time we meet,
that's right,
then there should be consequences for me.
That's right.
There should be absolute public humiliation. And yeah, we can just...
That's what we'll do.
No, I think it's very exciting. And I think it appeals to like the fun side of, you know, my personality. It's like, oh, that sounds interesting. Let's give that a try. Yeah. So what do you think? This is just a question as longtime marketers. How do you see TikTok style content influencing what we're doing on other social networks? Do you think that we're going to see a TikTokification of Pinterest, TikTokification of other networks? What do you think?
I feel like everyone's chasing TikTok right now, to be honest. I feel like TikTok's growing so fast. They have managed, their platform is capturing our attention I mean, we had to get to the point where my husband had to delete it off his phone because we were spending too much time on it. I can't delete it because I need it for work, but you can spend so much time on there. Whereas, you know, are you spending that much time on Facebook or YouTube? I don't know. Right now, whatever they're doing, it's working. So I'm really curious, you know, is that why, you know, Instagram Reels has become such a big deal because we're trying to get video content there? Is that why our idea pins, is that going to keep evolving on Pinterest? I'm really curious what's going to happen with it. TikTok, I don't feel like everything they're doing is great. So it's kind of like, what's every other platform going to do? It's just so hard to know. Like we're all chasing TikTok.
So
interesting. Go ahead, Jeff.
No, you go ahead. You go ahead. I'll wait.
Well, I was just wondering. I mean, we are experimenting with some pins that are a little bit more humorous, and I know the whole reason we're doing it is because it seems like there's such an appetite for that you're seeing in the TikTok universe. So I'll keep you posted. They haven't come out yet, but I'm curious to know if maybe because people are spending so much time on TikTok that they'll be looking for a little bit more entertainment, lightheartedness, and other content on other platforms.
Yeah, I think that. So here's Jennifer says, we've already started seeing the influence on every platform. Yeah, Reels came out of, I think, TikTok, YouTube Shorts, as Brian was saying. I think, like Kristen said, everybody's chasing TikTok right now. And I think the more that, and I think it's a lesson for brands, if you see what's popular on TikTok and what's working, it's edutainment. You know, it's the education always will win. Comedy's always going to win. I was looking at the podcast stats, and the number one podcasts across the board are always comedy. So if you can put in humor, and what Kristen was saying is some of this, you know, where it's not so much polished and it's the real you, and you're doing stuff that's having fun, you're poking fun at yourself, whatever, that endears yourself, and people are liking that more than they like brand content. And so I see more and more of this stuff. If you look at the commercials that work really well, even, old school stuff like on Super Bowls, it's the comedy, it's the fun stuff that captures your attention. So Kristen, I want to know, so for people who just want to get started on TikTok, like they want to go, okay, Kristen's convinced me, I'm ready to do this thing. Do you have like a template, not a template, but like an idea maybe of the easiest thing they need to do to get started? Like, go get your phone, turn on the camera, and do this.
Yeah, so turn on your camera, sign up for the creator account. Don't be like me and do the business account. It took me like a couple weeks to realize wrong one. And then start practicing your 15-second videos and save them as drafts. If you can do like 5 or 10, 15-second clips of you just going, like shaking your head, pointing, whatever it is. If you're not ready to talk, that's fine. Like, you can have a lot of videos where you're not talking. So just start with those. Let's say you can get 10 done. It might take you an hour or two in the very beginning because you're trying to figure out the platform. Just very easy to use. If I can use it, anybody can use it. I really mean that, because I was very nervous I wasn't going to understand anything, and I understood it. So save all those as drafts, and then start publishing them. Start with like 2 a week and just go from there. So if you don't have time to create every week, that's fine. Batch them all at once and then just drip them out, a couple at a time. And then I would say, if you drip them out, you do get people that comment or say anything. Engagement is really big on TikTok. I think they really like that. So if someone says something, give it a heart, respond back. The more engagement you get, the more people are going to see it. And it makes you look like you're like accessible. So I think that's helpful too.
Mm. Would you suggest, when you're going and doing your TikTok, should you have a separate, like for some people do it with Pinterest, they have a separate personal account and then they have a business account. Would you recommend that, or should you have it as your business name, or should it sort of like mainly Pinterest tips, or should it be Jeff C? Which one would work? What would you suggest on TikTok?
I would start with one account. I don't know. I'm assuming you can have a couple different accounts, but I would just focus on having one. For me, I use my name, like my first name. So it'll say like Kristen, and then there's a star and it says Pinterest marketing. Mm-hmm. And then it has my username, and then it just has my link to my URL. So I like using my first name, that people will see that. So it looks a little more personal, but you can change it anytime you want. So in the beginning, I wasn't sure like what I should call myself. I started off with my business name. I changed it to my personal name. So you can definitely play with it. I just like my first name because it seems, friendlier.
Real. Okay. Yeah, I think that's a great point. I just was wondering if there was a standard that you might have. The other question I have is, like, if we're starting to do research, do you have, like, one, a favorite TikTok video, and two, do you have a favorite like marketer or business account that other than yourself, that we definitely need to follow?
Oh, well, I'm very generous. I pretty much like everything that TikTok shows me. So I have given everybody pretty much hearts. Like, I love what everybody's doing. I don't follow that many people. I mostly follow businesses. Let me go through, and some of the things you can follow are amazing. Like, I follow like a chiropractor. I follow someone that makes dog bandanas. Someone that makes planners and ships them out. Like, I love following such diverse people. It's really awesome. I'm going to go through and I'm just going to pick one that I am following, and it's called Tails Up Pup. And they literally make dog bandanas, and they show the whole process of their sewing room. So Susan, you would probably like this. It's, a whole table. You roll out your piece of fabric. They show the sewing, the making of the bandana. They put it on the dog. Someone will even comment and say, "Oh, can you film my order being like made?" And they'll make a TikTok video. They'll put your order number in it. they'll say, here's your package. I just put it in the package. I'm sending it to the mailman. So it's like so cool to see your order being made. So just that kind of
That's
stuff,
cool.
like I'm all invested in seeing how these businesses operate. I'm super nosy. So getting to see that side of things is so cool to me.
That is really cool.
I love that. Yeah, I think it's interesting because, the themes that we're talking about here, it's like, Kristen, you're very clearly, you know what your business needs, and you understand what your brand is, and what you're doing is just reinterpreting that and the messages that that performed well on TikTok. And I love that, just basic marketing. It's like, take what you want to tell your audience and make it appropriate to the network, and then from that, make it possible for people to do business with you. It's like, it's beautiful. I'm and I think seeing that, because TikTok, I think for someone my age, feels like such a whole different world, but
Hmm.
really it's the same set of skills that we bring to other parts of our marketing job that we're going to use on TikTok. So that's really kind of fun to hear you talk about that.
Oh.
Yeah.
So we're going to wrap up. We only got 10 minutes left, so I want to make sure if you guys have any questions, make sure you drop them down below, because we have expert here that make sure you want to have a chance to ask the questions, and we'll try to pull those up. But I wanted to ask, like, what other than Pinterest and TikTok, what other like channels do you use for your business? It sounds like email marketing is super important for you.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything that I miss that you use all the time that's really been beneficial?
We do a lot of workshops. So I found value in doing workshops. And again, it's all part of our marketing process of visiting our website, come watch a workshop, whether it's live or pre-recorded. Because again, it's trying to figure out how do we get to talk to people and be more accessible. So I love sending out newsletters. That's a great way to get to know me and our business. We're on Facebook some, not a ton. If you see me in like one of our groups, that's a great way to talk to me. But our biggest thing is like, how do we reach more people and see a different side of us? I'm old fashioned. I love to read, which is why I love like the blogging aspect, the writing
Hmm.
aspect. So trying to venture into video is really different, and trying to figure out what kind of voice and tone we want to have. That's been, a bit of work, just trying to figure out like, how do we want people to know us? So that's really where we're at. I really want to grow TikTok more. I know we need to be on Instagram Reels because I know that's so powerful. So we're just kind of just going slowly at a time, I guess, to try to branch out more.
Well, I think that's great, and I think it's a real success story that you just the short amount of time you've been on it, all the stuff that you've learned and how you've figured out what works for your business. I think the key takeaway for me, this is just me personally, is how you have moved people from TikTok to your list. Because I think, who knows what's going to happen? They may shut TikTok down, or it may go away. It may turn into Instagram may buy them. Who knows what's going to happen in the future? But having them go to your list, I think that is super smart, so that you actually own that, and it's something that you can always use. So that's very, very cool.
Yeah, and I've seen other businesses doing this in different ways. So I've seen some people, have a video and they say, "Oh, if you want to learn more, come sign up for my email list. I'm going to send you like a free ebook, or I'm going to send you a free PDF." So some people market really different. Like I said, we're a little more like soft about it, but there's so many ways using TikTok you can get people to follow you, to sign up, for whatever it is, to get them to Instagram, or do you want to send them to YouTube? There's just so much opportunity. Like it's unbelievable what we can do.
Mm-hmm. Very cool. So, Susan, I'm going to ask Kristen where the best place to find her. We've been shooting up her Pinterest VA URL all day today. But Kristen, I wanted to know where, other than that, like if they go to your website, is there something they need to click on so they can get like contact you, or what's the best thing for people to find out more about you and your services?
Yeah, really just visit pinterestva.com. Like I was saying to you guys before we started, we've been working on a brand new website for months, and we finally launched it yesterday. And I love it because we've got this brand new learning center where you can learn more about Pinterest and how to use it. And you don't have to sign up for anything. We want you to just educate you and have you learn about it. And if you want to watch a workshop, that's awesome too. So I'm really excited about it, and I hope everybody likes it.
It's
Awesome.
really beautiful. beautiful. I just took a second to scroll between, when you mentioned it and we started. It's really a beautiful site. Congrats on
Yeah,
that.
Yeah, very
thanks.
cool.
I'll tell my designer.
So, Susan, I forgot to, at the very beginning, I was going to play a video for you guys. So I wanted you to have a chance to set
this is
this up.
important.
Yeah, we kind of blew it. I was so excited to talk to Kristen. I just was like, I got to talk about TikTok. So, tell people a little bit about it, because I have a challenge for them after you kind of introduce this before we roll that beautiful footage.
Yeah, so we did a thing. We decided that it was time to create a new video about the value that Tailwind can bring. And I'm excited about it because it has alpacas in it.
Mm-hmm.
We actually did an alpaca naming contest. And anyway, so I thought, oh, this would be a great time to show the video. We are enthusiastic about it at Tailwind and think that it's a really good look at how you can use Tailwind to grow your business.
And don't forget, before we end the show today, to check out our Black Friday, Cyber Monday. It's just amazing. So go to bit.ly/Tailwind Kit, get that download, check it out, because it's going to help you for Black Friday and Cyber Monday. But the challenge I want to give...
Oh, wait.
Go ahead.
My 2 plugs on that.
Oh, yeah.
We're talking about being real. Okay, yeah. So
Yeah.
the Tailwind Kit is actually filled with stuff we actually use in our marketing. You will see it's like real Tailwindy stuff. And when Kristen was talking about, and you were talking about building your list, that's another reason, as you're thinking about Black Friday, Cyber Monday, September, October, full press on building your email list, because oftentimes the offers that we do at that time of year really depend on having that large list. So don't delay on that download.
Yeah. And so this video we're going to play, what I want you guys to do, and we'll just play it, and then we'll say goodbye and see you guys next time. But first of all, I want to thank everybody for joining. Marge for being here, Jennifer, of course, for all your great comments and tips, Kristen for being here for a great guest. Dara was here as well. So thank you guys so much for watching and commenting. That makes our day. We would not do this without you. But the challenge I have for you guys, I want you to, as you watch this video in the comments, I want you to think how we could take this message and put it to TikTok. We've been talking about TikTok all day. Are there aspects of this video you think would work on TikTok, or a messaging or whatever? I would love it to know, because it's a really good video. But I talked about repurposing. Is there any part we could repurpose this for a TikTok? So watch this, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye, everybody.
To Tailwind basically being my marketing team, my party planning business is thriving. What do you use?
I like to post things, and then I have this spreadsheet that's all color coordinated that I keep.
I'm saving so much time that I finally learned how to DJ. Now I plan and DJ bachelorette parties, weddings, baby showers too.
My parties are fun too.
And because Tailwind automatically creates and schedules my social media marketing, business is really taking off. Sales goal! And to celebrate, I planned an alpaca party! I've always wanted one. Thanks, Tailwind! Mwah! Woo!